our way successful, to make our way prosperous. And that's what blessed means. Blessed not only means happy, but blessed also means that you're in a good status, a good state with God, a good situation with God. And blessed also means empowered. God wants to empower every one of us to excel in life. God wants to empower us to be successful. God wants to empower us to live life to the fullness, to the abundance, and to the overflow. Overflow, why? Because overflow means it's impacting, it's affecting somebody else. We had a bucket of water sitting on that table, and the bucket of water spilled over, and your feet is on the floor. Whose feet would get wet?
Only you got feet on the floor.
That's right. See, that's why he wants to overflow in your life. So when we don't allow things to overflow in our life, we are depriving somebody else from their blessing. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody is dependent on you. That little girl that thinks all men are dogs is dependent on you to show her that all men ain't dogs. That there's a man to stand up and take his rightful place. Your sons, your daughters. Don't you know a real woman wants a real man? Oh. A real woman wants a real man. That, Lord have mercy, I ain't gonna apply to that. But a real woman wants a real man. They don't want an imitational man. Folks are saying too many imitational men. Too many figure men. A figure is not real.
Not real.
They're saying too many figure men that's not real. But it's time for the real man to stand up. And we got to dig down deep within us. You know, I say gut check time. We used to play basketball. And the man covering you say gut check time. That means he wasn't going to stick on to you like a glue. He was going to see what you was made of. See what was really in you. Don't you know it's time to see what's really in us? Do we have what it takes to stand? Do we have what it takes to have true grit and stand up and be accounted for and be that man that God is looking for? Where he can say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You know, he asked Adam, once Adam sinned, he said, where art thou? He knew where Adam was geographically. He knew Adam was behind that tree. So he wasn't asking Adam, where are you geographical? But where are you, your position? I didn't create you to be in that position. That position of sin. Where are you in me? Where is the man I created? Where are you? You know how sometimes you have a friend and your friend is right with you and they do something and you say, man, what are you doing? You saw what they were doing. But what they done was so out of character. You say, what are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So God said, where art thou? In other words, you hiding from me. You being in this status, in this state, is so out of the character that I created you to be in. So where are you at? So it's time for us to stand up and take our right place. God wants to say, that is the man I created. Do you know God uniquely formed us and designed us? There is a uniqueness in you that you that God created us so uniquely. He takes a beauty in us. There is a beauty in you that your wife sees. A beauty in you that your children need to see. A beauty in you that you need to see. In other words, there's some greatness in you. There's some beauty in you that God is waiting to bring out. And the more we yield and get under the jurisdiction of God, the more that beauty will be out. There are some things you thought you would never accomplish or never see in life. But as you walk with God, God manifests them. This is what God wants to do. And I'll say this in last. There's other thing I can say. But the Bible says, as many as received him, in John, the first chapter, to them he gave the power to become the sons of God. Now Adam lost our image for us. So now we got to become the man that God created. We got to become the sons of God. Now how do you become something? You become something by seeing an example. You become something by something being imparted in you. So we got to become something. There's this animal that can become anything it sees. Chameleon. Okay, don't you know we have to see something before we can become it? That's why the Bible says Jesus was our example in all things. So your wives, your children, the world is waiting to see a man so they can become a man. And when I say man, I'm talking about global wise, because God created man in his own image. Male and female created he them. So there are men and there are women that are waiting to see you, waiting for you to be an example to them, so that they can be something. Because if we don't stand up and impart something, not only through words, but through deed and truth, this nation is in worse trouble than ever. Let your light so shine before men that they might see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Let them see that so they can become that also. And you got to see that so you can become it. So who's perceiving through the eyes of God? Who's perceiving the ordination of God? Because you can't become what you don't perceive. You can't become what you don't see. So we need to see something. And that's why we need to stand up. Somebody stood up before we did. And we got here because we saw an example. We saw something. Now this generation got to see something. But let me say it on the other hand. Even though they see, they got to embrace. Ain't that right? Even though they see, they got to embrace. Because some are seeing, but throwing their head up and saying, I don't want no part of it. But nevertheless, even though some are saying that, we got to stay in our position. Because if someone sees it long enough, they might want to join the problem. And that's why we got to stick. We got to stick to our guns. We got to see, the Bible says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Blessed is the man that walketh not. Blessed is the man that made a decision. Blessed is the man that sees through the ordination of God and walketh not. Don't be active in ungodly counsel. Don't be active in the ungodly way. Nor sitteth in the seat of scoffers, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate. That's the word meditate. Meditate means to mutter. It means to rehearse something over and over in your spirit. Just like the woman with the issue of blood. She said over and over within herself, if I could but touch, did she touch it? When the law said she couldn't. When all odds was against her, she wasn't supposed. She could have been killed. That could have been her life. But you got to do what it takes to get to Jesus. You got to do what you can to touch it. Even if somebody tell you can't, even if everything around you dictates to you that you can't do it. Everything around her dictated to her that she couldn't touch Jesus. The law even said she couldn't touch Jesus. She could have been stoned to death just for touching Jesus. But she said, if I could but touch. She mustered up that strength. All the crowd, the massive crowd was there. She had to press away. You got to press your way. You got to press beyond your flesh because your flesh will try to dictate to you. You got to press beyond that and get to Jesus. Press beyond your ways. Press beyond your carnality. Press beyond all humanistic ways because humanistic ways won't get you to God. And you got to press. So she pressed through all that so she could get to God. She pressed through the stigma because the stigma said, you are unclean. You can't touch God. And some people feel like they've done too much in their life. They're unclean. They this and that. But no, the Lord is waiting for you to press through all your baggage, all your mess, and just touch him. Because he is the answer. He is the answer for the world today. So he's waiting for us to press through everything that dictates us, everything that tries to coach us until we can't get no further. Because you can get further. And don't let your past harm you. Don't let your past harm you. I use this many times. That's your past and this your future. Can you ever get to your future if you're holding on to your past? Can you ever get to your future if it's holding on to you? You got to let go of your past. Paul said, forgetting those things which are behind you. There are some things behind you that will try to haunt your mind, try to paralyze you, try to keep you from going any further. But you got to get over. You got to press your way and get over your past so you can get to your future. Because if you never let go of your past and let it haunt you all your life, you'll never get to your future. And that's what the devil's calling on. But God said, I know the thoughts that I have concerning you. Thoughts of good and not of evil. And to give you an expected end. That means to give you a future. So God got a future. God got a destiny. God got a purpose. Oh my God. And purpose means so much. It means so much. When you know your purpose, can't nothing stop you. When you know your purpose, can't nothing stop you. Everything will try to dictate to you. You can't go no further. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know, you hear the enemy talk to you. You hear people talk to you. You hear this and that. But when you know your purpose, this is why Jesus, when he was baptized, the heaven opened up and said, this is my beloved son, in whom I well pleased. Don't you know that gave Jesus purpose? In other words, that affirmed. Don't you know we need our fathers to touch us? Our fathers to touch us. And the Heavenly Father, God spoke. He made a declaration over the life of Jesus. This is my beloved son in whom I will please. Don't you know a son always push and perform, if I would say perform better, when he had his father cheering for him? When he had his father declaring, if a son is playing football and the father's out there cheering for him, that's my boy, go, boy, go. The son performed that, though. So I thank God. So our Father wants to make a declaration in our life. So God bless you. What's that?